not just a group of individuals. We are a powerful force. Together, we are unstoppable. Each of us brings unique strengths, and when we combine them, there's nothing we can't achieve. Challenges will come, but we face them head-on, with courage and determination. There are no quitters here, only winners. We push each other to be better, to strive for greatness, and to never settle for anything less. Remember, our success depends on each and every one of us. Stay focused, stay united, and let's make our mark. We rise together, we conquer together. Now let's go out there and show the world what we're made of. We are unstoppable.
Hey guys, it's saying that oops, lost connections, that it's still reconnecting. It didn't even do my intro. Um, I have a site up that says I'm live at 10 a.m. All right, I don't know. Let me give me a check if you can see me because we have some really bad weather coming in. Or in that's currently in right now, and it's wreaking havoc on the internet. So I need to check that everyone is here. I see the chat moving a little bit, but I don't know. It's messing with me on the wrong night because I've been pumped all day to do this freaking show, and I feel like you can see me. Oh, all right, so it's just a little bit slow. Am I buffering at all? Because I feel like it's probably buffering. I feel like it's probably messed up, but either way, it'll be okay. You can hear me. Okay. Hey, BDA. All right. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, D Hoot. Thank you, Kurt. I am going to go back to the top. Intro just skipped a second, but you're perfect right now, not skipping it. Thank you, Kurt. It did the intro. Hey, bestie. Me and her have been on pins and needles with this case. So I'm so glad she's here. So I'm going to go back to the top and I'm just going to say hello. So hello, Ernie. You were the first in here. You was the second. Hey, Ben15. It's good to see you. Jason Finch. It's good to see you. BMO. Kurt W in the house, Mary D Hoot, and then we've got Big Daddy Andy, and we got Brandy Joy, and I'm sure maybe some more people will come in, but until then, you guys, I hope you're like ready for this. Judge Sam is in session. That's right, the gavel. You better listen to what I gotta say. One moment. All right, we're just having some trouble with the freaking internet. It's being mean right now. It's being really mean. So yes, Brandy. I hope you guys are ready. If you've got your snacks and you got your drinks, and I got me a cocktail, and we're gonna get into this. This is gonna be crazy, absolutely crazy. That's right. The judge is in the house. Everyone hear ye, hear ye. That's how they do it in Massachusetts. They when the judge is entering, they say, "Hear ye, hear ye." I've never seen any other state do that. Oh, hey, Andrew, it's good to see you. We've been on jury duty hard. Yes, we have. We really have. Banter with Richie B coming in with the Me Bro. Everybody, please click that link and join the Me Bro group. It is an awesome group with Bigfoot research that Richie has started. And yes, Sam, I want to Maximus, get you one, grab you one, join me. I don't want to be the only one. But yeah, what flavor? It is lemonade with peach crown, I believe. I did have mango wine, but it wasn't much, so I said, sorry, a little off today. Thank you all for being here. Yes, banter with Richie B. Yes, Richie. Get you some rest. You've had a long day, my friend. So definitely get you some rest. Take care of you. But I just wanted to say, so if you're wondering why I'm wearing the pink, it's because of the topic that we're talking today. I'm wearing pink. My shoes in the thumbnail were pink. And yeah, no, it's not. I haven't had one of those in a while, actually. Probably need one after this case, though. I'm telling you, it is crazy. Yeah, Brandy, she got her wine, honey. She needs the wine. Me and her, I tell you right now, it has been a long week with this case. This case has been going on for a while, but it has been a long week trying to keep up with this mess. I'm telling you right now. I've made it home time. Busy 21 days. Sheesh, Texas was hot. And oh God, Andrew, I bet. Hey, previously possessed. It's so good to. I knew you was gonna be here because me and you've been talking about this case too, and this is a big one. Excuse me. I've got a lot of new followers on Facebook. Because I made some reels about this case and had no idea that the reels were going to just skyrocket into the thousands of views. And I have gotten so many new followers from those reels, and surprisingly, they're all women. Not surprisingly, but you know what I'm saying. Like every single one that has followed me is women. And I'm so proud of that because with this case, I've never seen such a unity amongst the women. It's incredible. And they're all like, the comments mostly are just women supporting each other, supporting the reason for this case. And I've had a few negative Nancy's coming in, but I call them negative Nancy's, but listen, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. No one is, I'm not knocking anyone just because they don't see this case the way I am seeing it, because at the end of the day, we're just watchers. That's it. We're just watching. And that's where I'm going to throw in my disclaimer here. When I'm telling you about this case and I'm pointing out things that I see, they're strictly my opinion, okay? It's all of my opinion. It's all alleged. And I did go to college for some criminal justice. Fun fact about me. I did go to college to criminal justice because I had every intention of going through the community college and then going into law school because I wanted to be a district attorney myself. So that should tell you a little bit about me, that I usually am pro state. Okay. I'm usually with the district attorneys. I'm usually like 100% completely. But with this case, I just can't. I can't. And it shocked me too. Trust me. This whole thing has shocked me too. It's blew me out of the water because I just, I had been seeing it go around. Nancy's not allowed. That's right, Benno. No Nancy's are allowed here. Okay? None. Brandy, yes. Awesome. Thank you, Andrew. I really appreciate that comment. Hazy, hey, Miss Jessie. It's so good to see you. Got to have different points of views on things. That's right. Not everyone is going to see everything the same. And if someone doesn't see something the way you do, you don't have to go and just completely just smack them in the face. There's been some in my comments that's like, you're retarded, or you're like, literally, because they just don't see the case the way I do, and that's fine. That's totally fine. You don't have to have. I'm not going to get mad at you if you come in my comments and say, "Well, I see it this way." I'm going to just say, "All right, that's great." Yes, as my best friend, she can confirm. She can confirm all of this, but everything I'm saying, even for me going to college, she knows. I literally done my senior project on capital punishment and the reasons why it's good to have it. And a lot of people don't agree with me with that. It's okay. I have my opinion. My opinion is not making calls and is not guiding this country, okay? It's my opinion in my home, and that's it. It doesn't go anywhere else. So, and it's, I just want everyone to know that. And and to know that whatever I put out tonight is not, it doesn't mean anything. It's just my opinion. It's what I'm noticing, and that's it. And if you don't like what you see, you got a finger and you know how to do that. You know how to swipe. You swipe till you find something you want. Okay? Because I know I'm not for everyone, and that's fine. And my opinion is definitely not for everyone, and that's fine too. I respect everyone and how they feel and what they think, and I don't shoot people down, okay? I don't. I just say, you tell me what you think, and then we sit and we think, and that's all. I just want a discussion. So let's do this. I think we can do this. Maximus, I wonder if eminent domain is with state and federal or ultimately federal. Some seems federal will be the most of it. Yeah, it seems so, Maximus. Wait. Okay, now everything's like it's jumping. The evidence necessarily speaks for itself. Yes, Andrew, the evidence does speak for itself. That's why we have trials. That's why we have court. That's why we have this, this happening. Hey, Tim Vogel, the Republic of Sam's pretty. Yes, Andrew, this is my court. Like many things, it's an ongoing. Yes, it is. Judge Sam, that's right, Benno. And I feel like I'm in my Y2K era for now. I don't know why I feel like I'm in like the 2000. I don't know what's happening. I'm like, you know what? I feel 2000s for some reason, or 90 or whatever. I don't know. Criminal Justice Cornbread play. Yes. Bad boys. What you gonna do? I have battled eminent domain at the state level, MMP, and oh wow, D-Hoot. Hey, Miss Jessie. We both looked at this case from all angles, left, right, up, and down. Yes, Brandy. We have, she says this, because that is all we have done all week. I'm not joking. We're not just we didn't automatically jump on the bandwagon of my opinion, of what I'm going to talk about. We didn't do that. We just looked at it from what they were presenting us with the evidence, and we determined how we felt about it. And this is how we feel about it. And you're going to see it too. I hope you see it too. And if you don't, that's fine. Don't like it, scroll. That's right. Scroll your way out. I have tried to stay as far away from this case as possible to keep my. Yes, Jesse, it's an unfortunate case. Okay. But hear me out. It's very sad because at the end of the day, we've got to remember who the people were that are the victims. So we've got 3 children here. We got 3 children in this mess. And we have to remember them. They are the focal, like, we're trying to get justice for them. But I'm telling you, when I show you some of these things, your perspective, I don't know how you are looking at this case right now, but it may change. And if it doesn't, that's fine. But I have totally seen things from a whole different thing. I'm being my normal self, like at Paranormal. Yeah, be you. Okay, I literally just want everyone to be you. Okay, yes, have fun, be you. Denny O, it's so good to see you. Hey, Tyler, Roller Dog. Did you have a good lunch today? Oh wait, maybe you did. I don't know. What did you have? Because you were at the Lowdowns podcast. He went live at 2 p.m. Everyone go support Jared in the Lowdown. I think you was in there, and I think I saw you say something about a Snickers bar. I don't know. I'm just one of the gals in here. Girl power. Veno, taking up for the girls. That's right. Yeah, I've seen that we have one being built 5 miles. Andrew. Thank you, D-Who. Hey, Susan. It's very stressful and sad. At the end of the day, the children are... Yes, the children is what the justice is for, so that's what we're trying to do. I have the Court TV YouTube app. I'll have to go... You will definitely... Andrew, I'm telling you, start from day 1. Don't just jump where it's at now. You need to start from day 1, and you need to watch how this is unfolded, because it is wild. It is a roller coaster ride. It's crazy. Hey, Daryl, it's good to see you. Tiffany Peacock, it's good to see you. So the case we're talking about is Lindsay Clancy, okay? The Lindsay Clancy case. I'm telling you right now. Whoo, Lord. I'm going to give you a little background. So, who is Lindsay Clancy if you don't know? Okay, Lindsay Clancy is a former labor and delivery nurse from Massachusetts. She and her husband, Patrick Clancy, lived in Duxbury, Massachusetts with their 3 children. Cora, age 5, Dawson, age 3, and Callan, age 8 months. So the family appeared from the outside to be normal young family. But after Lindsay had Callan, her mental health declined a little bit. And ladies will know what I'm talking about. You know, giving birth to children, sometimes women experience postpartum depression, and it can be intense. Sometimes you just get the baby blues, and then sometimes you have full-blown postpartum depression, and it can get scary with that. So her mental health did start declining because she had a rough delivery with Callan. She had to have an episiotomy, and given with, being a woman, and you're already going through giving birth, and you're already fighting the hormonal shifts that's all throughout your body that makes you feel like you're just crazy, but you're not. And on top of that, having an experience with childbirth that actually just tears you up in, that region is not fun. And it can be depressing, and it can really take a toll on your mental health. So, yeah, that is why she is on trial, is because her children were killed. Her 3 children were killed, and the trial is basically about her strangling her kids with a resistance band, so a workout band. Yeah, so she was arrested for that. Mary, whether you believe Lindsay Clancy is mentally ill or criminally responsible or both, I hope this case changes one thing: the way we respond when mother says she is not okay. Thank you, Mary, right here. This right here. This is the whole point of the case, okay? This is why women are banding together, is because when a woman says she's not okay, she's not okay. When a woman says, when she's clearly been diagnosed with postpartum and she's struggling, the last thing you need to do is leave her alone, completely alone, no support, no help, not listening. Tell her, you'll get past this. No, you don't know that, because you're not in her shoes. So that is one thing I am very strongly passionate about, is when she says she's not okay, she's not okay. And that is the whole point of this whole thing. That's a big point of this whole thing. So I want people to remember that. I've been to Portland and Preston, Massachusetts. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I know it's beautiful up there. I've seen pictures. I hope it's okay. I ain't wearing a dress today. Just, Benno, I'll allow it this time in the court, but next time you need to dress professionally. I'm just picking. It's far too cold. I bet no dress required. Yeah, as long as you shave. That's right, D-Hoop. As long as you shave, you can wear your PJs. That's okay. I'm a relaxed court. I'm just picking. The system has let her down. Many other women that came before her. Yes, I'm El Natural. Oh, Benno, I'm so glad to hear that. So, basically, my best friend actually sent me a video that I want to give you this heads up too. You're going to be seeing a lot of video clips tonight, because it's only going to make it make more sense. Okay. If you see these videos, if you have not seen the trial, you don't have a clue what's been said, these clips is going to highlight everything that is most important and help you understand a lot better as to why things are not right with this case. There's a little bit of there is some holes in this case. So I'm going to see. She sent me. She said, "You go, girl." Okay. She sent me a video. I think you all should see it of her. If I can get to it. One momento. I'm trying to find it. Brandy, I don't see that. What has happened to that video? She sent it to me. That is crazy. Wait. She sent it to me plain as day, unless it's on back. Because this will give you... Oh my God. Brandy, you might have to send that to me again because I'm not seeing... Hang on. Yeah, it's not showing. That's so crazy. You sent it to me plain as day and I am not seeing it in our chat at all. Like, it's gone, girl. It's gone. The frick? It was there. See, that's crazy. She sent it to me right before I had even gone live. She did. Yeah, it's completely gone, Brandy. That video is gone. It's not even in our chat anymore. That is crazy. I wonder if it got taken down. I was going to show you that Lindsay had done a video pleading, or she's saying she's not guilty. But I don't know if I can find it. Agree, Sam. If she was in that condition, she should have had tremendous support and never left alone. That's right. I'm going to focus now, Judge Sam. Thank you, Benno. It's time to focus. So January 24th, 2023. This is where the two sides tell very different stories. The defense's version is... The defense says Lindsay experienced a progressively worsening psychiatric crisis after giving birth to Callan. Her attorneys say she suffered from severe postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis, bipolar disorder, intrusive thoughts, suicidal thinking, paranoia, auditory hallucinations. They also urged that her psychiatric treatment made things worse because she was prescribed a large combinations of medications. She was on a lot of medication. Okay, this is what she said. She 100% pled not guilty on all accounts. I've seen the video. She sent me the video. She did. She pled not guilty. However, she's on trial because her lawyer... The frick? Oh. Her lawyer, I guess, encouraged her to go ahead and plead guilty because that was one way they could get her husband on the stands as a witness. Like, so he would come to court and we could hear his version of exactly what happened. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there. She was on a lot of medications, okay? At trial, the defense has repeatedly emphasized that Lindsay has taken 13 psychiatric medications in the months leading up to the killings. And on these medications, she always complained that she didn't like it. She didn't want to take them. She didn't want to take medications at all. But she was having to... I mean, these doctors were like, take them. And it's just, it's a lot when you're being pushed, when pills are being pushed down your throat. I mean, it's just crazy. Her mother, Paula Musgrove, testified that Lindsay told her she was having thoughts about harming her children. This is a summary. That her medication was destroying her mind. And that's true. You're going to see some of those, some of that, but it's crazy. Yes, from 5 different providers, Denny. That's insane to me. That's insane to me. The prosecution is saying it tells a different story. So, well, basically, the defense is saying she was mentally ill. She did not. She was not a healthy woman that just decided to suddenly kill her children. This was a severely mentally ill woman who repeatedly tried to get help and deteriorated into psychosis. What is up, Jared? Are you ready to hear? You're in court, Sam. The court of Sam. I hope you're ready to hear about this trial. And give me your thoughts on it too. The house looked like the house in Amityville. It did, D-Hoot. Oh my God, I never thought about that. Over 30 different medications being described. Yes, Brandy. Prescribed, excuse me. But the prosecution is saying that she was mentally ill, but she was not legally insane when she killed her children. So the prosecution is not having they're not having it. They're not. They're like, no, she knew exactly what she was doing, and so she wanted to commit suicide, but she wanted to take him with her. So no. That's not the case. All right. Now, January 24th, 2023. This is the timeline the jury has heard repeatedly the day everything happened, okay? Patrick Clancy was home with Lindsay and their 3 children. At some point that evening, Patrick left the house to get food and medicine, okay? That guy today was a super creep. Rachel, amen, sister. Amen. That guy was like, he just turned and was like, he was just looking at the camera. I'm like, what is this dude doing? What is he doing? He looks like the guy from, what is it? The Addams Family, the bald dude. I was like, what is wrong with this guy? Anyways, so Patrick had supposedly left the house to get food and medicine. Before leaving, he interacted normally with the children. This is what they have been saying. He kissed Cora. He interacted with Dawson. He held and rocked baby Callan. He had absolutely no idea that this would be the last time he would see them alive. He had no idea, okay? All right. Now, Patrick's testimony was one of the most emotional portions of the trial. Oh, it was super emotional, all right? There are a lot of holes in his testimonies. They don't match up with what experts have testified. Now, Patrick, okay, it says so I'm going to show the video. I'm going to show some of his videos where he has a lot of contradictions. I want you to see them. I want you to see them. Okay, this is a video called Things That Make You Go, Now, let me start screen sharing this, okay? I don't care what that man said. I think it's this one. Yep, it's this one. All right. Now, listen to this mug. Okay. Here we go.
To Lindsay when you found her in that state.
Yeah, I said, what happened?
And what was her response?
She said I tried to kill myself.
Did you ask her anything else?
I said, where are the kids?
And what was her response?
She said they're in the basement.
You said you called Lindsay. Was that a phone call?
Yeah.
And was that at approximately 6:09 p.m.?
Yeah.
And did she answer?
No.
And what did you do once you got inside the home?
I started taking my boots off.
At 5:54:15 p.m. Is that you coming in behind that other couple there?
Yeah.
His boots. He said he took his boots off. Let me tell you something. In the security camera, in the footage, he's wearing sneakers. All right? Just keep that in mind. And also, Lindsay's telling him the kids are in the basement. Meanwhile, she's just thrown herself out a whole secondary window and laying there with a broken spine and a crushed thyroid. Just keep that in mind, okay?
And what are you doing at that point when you're looking at the bags?
I think I was looking for the bag with my name on it.
You came into the house and you were taking off your boots and putting things down. Was there anything you noticed?
Yeah, the house is really quiet.
Is that unusual?
Yeah.
And when you realized it was really quiet, what did you do?
I called out.
And who did you call out to?
Everyone.
Did anyone answer?
No.
After you called out and no one answered, what did you do next?
I think I don't know the order, but I called down in the basement and no one answered. And then I called Lindsay to see if she was home because I looked out and I couldn't see her car, but it's because it was dark and her car's black.
When you arrived home, where did you park?
In the driveway.
What type of car did you drive then?
A Chevy Silverado.
And was that a white pickup truck?
Yeah.
What kind of car did Lindsay drive then?
It was a Kia SUV.
And once you parked there, were both vehicles now in the driveway?
Yeah.
And you said you called Lindsay. Was that a phone call?
Yeah.
And was that at approximately 6:09 p.m.?
Yeah.
And did she answer?
No.
And then did you go to your bedroom?
Yeah.
And were you able to get into your bedroom right away?
No, the door was locked, and that's when I knew something was wrong.
And when you unlocked the door to your bedroom, did you go in?
Yeah.
And what did you see when you opened the door and went in?
I just saw blood everywhere, and the window was open.
And you said you saw the window, is that correct?
Yeah.
Was it open?
Yeah, there was wind blowing in.
Did you walk into the room and over to the window?
No.
How far into the room did you get?
Probably 1 or 2 steps, and then I immediately turned around and went outside.
Did you say anything to Lindsay when you found her in that state?
Yeah, I said, "What happened?"
And what was her response?
She said I tried to kill myself.
Did you ask her anything else?
I said, "Where are the kids?"
And what was her response?
She said they're in the basement.
How long approximately, and I know you weren't looking at your watch or anything like that, but can you estimate for us how long it took for first responders to arrive?
4 or 5 minutes.
Okay. And during that time, are you continuing to try to talk to Lindsay?
Yeah.
Is she responding?
She was in and out of consciousness.
Okay. Was she breathing on her own?
I believe so.
Okay. And you're communicating information to the 911 operators, and are they giving you, advice on how to deal with the situation as it progresses?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you say anything to Lindsay when you found her in that?
All right. Did you guys catch some of the contradictions there? Just a little bit. Hey, Ashes, it's good to see you. Did you guys catch any of them? Because there was a few in there. I mean, the part of the video where you saw him, where she asked him, what were you doing? He was at a restaurant, so supposedly they had ordered takeout. He was there. I mean, he obviously was at the restaurant, but he was there getting their food. But he said his boots, and he's not wearing boots. He's wearing sneakers, which, okay, let that one go. But he said he had to call her because he didn't know if she was home. But yet and still, when you pull into your driveway, her car is home, sir. Her car is home. Benno, thank you very much. His yeah, it indicates, it does indicate. Now, that is the video that's, things that make you go, okay. This video shows him talking about Lindsay denying that she had told him any of her thoughts, okay? Let's see if I can get this one. I mean, this is crazy. He lied about the vehicles and the shoes. He did. Hey, Z, how are you? He did, Brandy. He lies all the time. All right. Here we go.
Tell you that she wanted to harm your children?
No.
Tell you she was going to kill your children?
No.
When she told you that she was having intrusive thoughts, did you ask her what they were?
Yeah.
And what was her response?
She described thoughts of hurting the kids.
Of harming the kids, is that correct?
Yeah.
And did Lindsay ever tell you that she wanted
Which one is it? Which one is it? Did Lindsay ever tell you about her? No. No. You heard him. No. But yet and still, later on, then he's saying, she told me. You can't make this up. This has been happening since day one. Okay? One thing's being told, and then a whole nother scenario comes up. And this is for my people in the back that keep saying that we're crazy, the ones that are taken up for Lindsay. Have you watched the whole trial from day one up until this point? The whole entire thing. I mean, the entire thing in its entirety. Hearing both the prosecutor's side and the defense's side, which Reddington, that man is on fire. He is the, what do you want to call him? The Richard Gere of this court. You understand? He is on fire. This is the first defense attorney I think I've ever been 100%. I'm backing everything he's saying, everything he's doing. This is the first time, because there is something wrong with this story, and I will die on that hill. There is something wrong. If you have watched this case, you know 100%. If you watched it from day one up until this point, and you have heard every single testimony, you've heard rebuttal, you've heard cross, you've heard all of it, you will know that there is lies. There's lies being told. Sorry, I went off on a tangent. We're stressed, okay? And I'm going to let it out right here because I have held this in all, like, for a while, okay? And it's time to let it out because this man is lying. This man is lying. I'll see y'all. William, it's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope you're feeling good. 100% lied on the stand, straight to jail, perjury. Yes, Brandy, thank you very much. Shreddington, that is what he is. Kevin Reddington is the best defense attorney I've ever seen in my life. I'm telling you, he's really good. Sam talking with her hands, y'all. Yeah, that's right. When I start talking with my hands, you better listen. Shh. Sit down and listen. I'd say not a credible witness at that. D-Hoot, her own husband is not credible because her own husband is lying. Okay, now we're going to go to video number 3. This is talking about the doorknob in the home. Now, you remember, he said the doorknob, he said his bedroom was locked. He said his bedroom was locked. Now, mind you, his bedroom had one of the safety things that you put on for children, and it had blood on it. Just watch. Just watch. I'm going to get it pulled up here. And I'm very confused on some of what he's saying here. Hello, Jason. It's so good to see you. My favorite Papa Squatch. It's so good to see you. You're going to hear me rant. I'm sorry, Jason. You're going to see my bad side. Benno is already putting the guilty gavel down. That's right. All right, here we go. Listen to this girl. She's going to tell you.
Trigger warning, this video is for educational purposes only on the Lindsay Clancy trial. Let's rewind back to trial day 2, when Patrick says that the door to their bedroom, Lindsay and Patrick's bedroom, was locked.
And then did you go to your bedroom?
Yeah.
And were you able to get into your bedroom right away?
No, the door was locked, and that's when I knew something was wrong.
And when you realized the door was locked, did you have a way to unlock it?
Yeah, the previous owners, when they installed the doorknobs, had these these little keys that they taped to the back of each door. So I got the one from Cora's room, and then I started unlocking the knob.
Okay. And when you unlocked the door to your bedroom, did you go in?
Yeah.
And what did you see when you opened the door and went in?
I just saw blood everywhere, and the window is open.
Fast forward to the evidence photos, trigger warning, there is blood on the doorknob.
And the blood that you saw, where was that located in the room?
It was everywhere. It was it looked like it was sprayed almost with like a hose. And there was a huge puddle in the middle of the room, and it was sprayed all over pretty much every surface. I remember it was on the doorknob.
Okay.
And so it is now several minutes fast forward into his testimony, and he now recalls the blood on the doorknob. So Patrick's main concern being the door being locked and not the blood on the doorknob. Based on the evidence photo from the crime scene, the testimony given, and what they highlight, what are your thoughts?
All right. So what are your thoughts on that? Okay. You see what I'm saying here? So supposedly, and you're going to see, because I have a really good video that's actually gone viral right now, where this girl put a lot of work into taking dolls and recreating the whole entire scenario of what actually probably happened. But supposedly Lindsay had cut sides of her neck, and then she had cut her wrist, and they were saying that obviously she didn't cut them enough to die from that, but because there was hesitation cuts. But the cuts on her neck were almost described as someone with that was left-handed would have done it. Lindsay's right-handed. Just keep that in mind, okay? And then so she cuts her neck, then she cuts her wrist, or ever how vice versa, cuts her wrist, then cuts her neck, and then she manages to cut the screen out of their window upstairs and throw herself out of the window because that's how much she wanted to commit suicide. Now listen, here's where I have a problem with this. She's a labor and delivery nurse. She went to school. She went through nursing school. Now, why would someone that's been through nursing school, why would she have to figure out how to kill herself or commit suicide when obviously cutting this way, you're done. You're done. That's all it would take. Throwing yourself out of a 2-story window is a chance because you're probably just going to be really hurt. You could die if you land the right way on your neck or your head, but why? Like, someone make it make sense. This doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Brandy says not sprayed like he said, it was droplet. Yeah, the blood was not sprayed all over the room. Thank you very much. It was droplets in the floor, but he's making it like it was this massive, like horrific crime, like, or scene that you go in and there's just blood everywhere. You know what I mean? D Hoot says, well, I believe her verdict will mean either prison or psychiatric facility. No chance of going home at this point. D Hoot, I know. I'm hoping that I'm hoping that Patrick, that they will see his testimony and see how it's not working. Nothing of what he says makes sense nor works. Timeline, it doesn't work, and you're going to see this. I'm gonna reveal all of this to you. It's going to make sense, but this is just the beginning. I'm just showing you this beginning, but it's just crazy to me. Right, Mooncat. It really doesn't. I know. I wonder what she remembers about the incident. I don't think she remembers much, do you? Did she give a detailed accounting of the murders? She did not give a detailed account. They asked her questions, and she just simply agreed to what she was told, I guess, of what happened. She doesn't, there's no way, because she was intoxicated with, I think, we're going to get there, 3 different medications. She was intoxicated. This is a woman that did not like to take medication. Just keep all of that in mind, okay, when I'm telling you this. This is a woman that did not like to take medication. She was a healthy woman. She was an athlete. She was a runner. She was all about health. All of this with the postpartum, I know it was hard. Yes, she did seek help. Yes, but she did not like the medications. No. I think they do have her on something, D-Hoot. Kind of funny at the end, he said, I remember it on the doorknob specifically and more worried about a locked door and not the blood that's on. I know, like, why wouldn't you say, I come to my bedroom door and I saw blood on the doorknob. And I was like, what? Why is there blood on my doorknob? And then, it's just strange to me how if it was locked, why is it when you would reach for that little white, that safety thing on the doorknob, when you would reach for that, why isn't the blood smeared around the hole? Because he would have to open it, but it was locked. So the door was locked. He had to get the little keys that come, that come with the house when you have those doors, the little pin. He had to use one of those from his daughter's room and unlock it and open it. But why is the blood just sitting on why isn't it like moved around you know what I'm saying? Because if you've ever had one of those child safety things on your doorknob, you would know that it's bulky, it's loose, and it's very annoying. I'm just saying. One way or another, strange and weird on a high level. One way, maybe another, maybe both, even more. Yeah, Maximus, we don't know. Like I said, this is my opinion. Okay, this is how I feel, and it doesn't need to reflect, on you guys. Like, if you don't believe this, if you don't, that's like I said in the beginning, it's totally fine. Hey, Paul, it's so good to see you. Welcome to Court Sam, where I'm the judge and I'm letting people have it. Like, I don't know how to say it. This trial is crazy. Paul, have you heard of the Lindsay Clancy trial? Kurt, exactly curious. My thoughts too. Like, she reached around the door with blood on her hand just to get it on the outside of the door. It doesn't make any sense, Kurt. It absolutely does not make sense. I'm telling you, it gets worse and worse. It's going to get worse and worse. Good to see you. You're right. Thank you, Paul. Welcome to court. Have a seat, sir. You're part of the jury now, and I need you to give me your thoughts on this case. So I'm going to pull up the next one. Let me get rid of this. Okay, here is the next one. So now this is the one where it talks about blood sprayed everywhere, but okay, the blood everywhere. Okay, it was sprayed everywhere, guys. Hang on, I don't want you to miss anything. Okay. I don't think so. Is this the one who unalived her? Yes, Paul. This is the one that supposedly done it. Just put it that way. Let me share the screen. Now, here's where they talk about the blood, okay?
You saw, where was that located in the room?
It was everywhere. It was, it looked like it was sprayed almost with like a hose. And there was a huge puddle in the middle of the room, and it was sprayed all over pretty much every surface.
When you went into the master bedroom, did you see blood sprayed all over the walls and everywhere?
No.
And fair to say that the video shows all of the walls in the bedroom and doesn't show any spatter or anything on the walls?
Yes.
Oh, what happened? What was just said? What? What do you mean? Paul, I don't watch the news, but I saw something about, yes, Paul, you need to stick around because I'm telling you, this is crazy. It's going to get wild. Patrick plainly sat up there and said, it was sprayed everywhere. It was like someone took a hose, just chew, all over the place, all over the bedroom, right? That was a cop that come in to the bedroom, that second dude, okay? And she asked him to explain. It's almost like the I'm sorry. The prosecutors get on my last nerve. But it's almost like they're trying to purposefully lose their case, because so many times Patrick is their witness. Okay, he's their witness. I just find it strange how he says that, and then an actual cop goes in and says no. And you see the crime scene photos back what the cop says. It's just drops. It's just on the floor. And it was on I think it was on the windowsill and the side of the house where she, I don't know, went out the window on her own. Please give me a break. Just give me a freaking break. Her thyroid was crushed. Okay, explain that one to me. Explain that one to me. Okay? Personally, in my humble opinion, I feel like windowsill, bam, that would crush somebody. I'm just saying. Okay, this is just totally my opinion, but I'm telling you, there's something wrong with this. There's something wrong with this. Judge Sam, did Shifty Eyes Man do the murder? I think so, Benno. He gives me the creeps. I'm going to show you some fun videos towards the end, too. You're going to be like, what? It's crazy. All right. Now we're going to get to, okay. Let's see. Okay, let's talk about the email that Patrick had sent the day of the murders, okay? And all of this will make sense as we go. I'm just showing you all of his contradiction videos right now because it just makes sense. I just want you to see how he says one thing and then later he might say it another way, or someone else will totally say a totally different thing that it just puts him to where I just don't trust him. I just don't trust him. So he sent an email the day of the murders. Now we're going to watch this one and we're going to see, let you listen to this, okay? Let me see. Whatever. More evidence against him than her. Just, yes, more. There is more evidence that points this towards him than it does her. And it's wild to me because she's the one in the seat. She's the one that everyone's going after, right? I'm sorry. I don't. For sure possible. Shifty Eyes Man. Yes, he's shifty eyed, all right. Yep. Way too chaotic for Seth. Yeah. Thanks. Yes. If she did this, I hope she rots. Paul, if she did this, justice is coming for her. But this is a woman that she was begging for help. Okay. She kept telling her husband, who stayed gone all the time, by the way, trips to he was always going to Manhattan. Oh, wonder why. Maybe because not long after his children are dead, just a few months after they're dead, guess who's getting with someone? Huh? Guess who? Patrick. Okay, he's already with a new lady. He's already married. And mind you, this lady looks just like Lindsay. Now, that doesn't mean anything because he could have a type. But I'm just saying he moved on really fast. You're going to see in the videos that I show later that this guy, I'm telling you, there's something wrong. He was not there for her. He was not supportive to her. I don't care what anyone says, okay? She kept saying, I need help. No one listened. And he kept leaving her home alone with them. Obviously, he was okay. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just, woo, girl. I'm just, I feel like the wrong one is sitting in that seat. The wrong one. Many falls from windows have been questioned as to whether or not it was actually a fall or yeah. Anyone who kills children, yes, Benno, 100%, I agree with you. And I'm saying that, you know, if I'm wrong, okay, I hope the one that did it, justice is going to be served regardless. But if there is a chance that this woman is innocent, there needs to be a fight. There needs to be a fight. This man has too many holes, too many things in his story that doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Agreed. Sam is, yes, she's paraplegic now. Her back's broken. She cannot walk. She's done. That's it. It's crazy. Some people seem that they can go to the arms of another super fast. Yeah, Maximus, and it could be that maybe he's just one of those types. But what he did not long after those babies were killed is going to blow you away, and you better stick around because I'm going to show that at the end, and you're going to be blown away. That someone that lost their children in such a horrible way could just go do what he does. And you're going to see it. It's going to make you mad too, because I mean, people grieve differently. But this is just outlandish to me a little bit. If she did, justice will be served, but the only evidence is the husband says she did it. That's it. That's what they're going by. She did it. Okay. Why are we not looking into every single angle of this instead of just taking the husband and saying she did it? Oh, really? Okay, well, let us gather evidence from this home. Let us look at every single angle and let us put this through trial and determine, because, oh God, there's something wrong. I keep harping on this, but there's something wrong. But yes, he keeps saying she did it, and hardly any DNA evidence. That's another thing I'm going to get to. There's hardly any DNA. So Lindsay supposedly used resistance bands to choke her kids to death. Where's the DNA? And you're going to see that too. Where is the DNA on the bands? Where is it? Why isn't her DNA on the bands? If that's the case, I'm making another point. If that is the case, why is she not on there? I'm just, one day everyone has to answer. Yes, they do, Kurt. I have faith in the jury, because I'm telling you, and since Paul and maybe some new people have come in, I'm telling you, I've made reels and I have gotten thousands and thousands of views. I'm talking about, I got 116K on one. I've got a lot. I'm not joking. Let me, so you don't think I'm playing? I have gotten so many. It blows me away, because when I made the first reel, I never expected it to blow up, but it completely blew up. So let me just show you. All right. So this right here, 125K, and this was just a funny video I made about me heading to the courthouse to help Lindsay and jerk the bow out of the freaking prosecutor's hair. And I'm going to get to that in a minute too. The whole freaking bow fiasco that is going on in that courtroom, that is absolutely, in my opinion, the most unprofessional tactic I've ever seen. Ever. It should not be happening. Not from a DA. That's just childish. And it just shows her level of intelligence and maturity. Now, we've got this one where it says, the truth is going to find you, Patrick Kevin. That's 69K. 83K. 27K on the last one. Listen, I have gained, let me show you how many. Let me show you how many 1.3K followers. When I made that first reel right here with this dude in the pink shoes, when I made that, I think I only had like 700 or 800 people. 1.3K followers I have now. And no, I'm not tooting my own horn here. But what I'm telling you is, that is how many women have rallied and followed my account, and I'm telling you, every single woman, every single comment is a woman saying how much they see the lies they see. There's something wrong with this case. There is just something completely wrong. Okay. Don't even get me started on the twins. That's right. The prosecutors are twins. They're actually sisters, and they are ridiculous. I don't even know their names, and I don't even care. I just know they suck. They suck. And like I told you in the beginning, I'm always pro state. I'm always for the district attorney, because Paul has just come in, and maybe some few others, and I'm gonna go over this. And for anyone else new, I done my senior project in high school. We had to do a senior project. That was the only way we could pass, or that was one of the biggest parts of us graduating, was doing the senior project, and I done it on capital punishment. I am pro capital punishment in some cases. So if anyone doesn't like that, I'm very sorry. I don't mean to, but I am. And I actually got to mentor with the local district attorney in our area. I got to sit with him. I got to talk to him. I got to go to court cases. I got to sit through a trial. I got to sit in a jury box. I got to do all of these things. And I was determined that when I graduated college, I was going to community college, and I was going to start my criminal justice, and then I was going to go to law school, because I was going to be a district attorney. I was going to be a prosecutor, because that's how passionate I am about the things that happen in the courtroom, and I'm still passionate about it. I still have that passion about it. It's just wasn't in the cards for me to be one, but I'm telling you, I don't ever go with the defense, because majority of the time, I mean, who are we kidding? But this time, it's different. It's just different, and I can't even believe I say that. I can't, because it's just throwing me for a loop, because I'm just like, whoa, but I'm looking at this and I'm like, wait a minute. I've watched this from day one all the way. We're on day 17. I've watched these trials. I've watched this whole thing unfold. And I'm telling you, I've listened to both sides. I've listened to the cross-examine. I've listened to the rebuttal. I've listened to it all. And there's too many holes. And I suggest you go and start from day one, and you will see them too. Anyone with common sense will see them. It doesn't take anybody just because I'm, you'll see them. Throwing fits in the courtroom, yes, she did, or they did, or whatever. Twins on a case shouldn't one recuse himself in the first one. No, Andrew, I don't know. That would personally, I would think that would be a conflict of interest in this type of high profile court case. Am I wrong, Sam's pretty? I don't think so, Andrew. But it's just, and it could be, I don't know. But it's just doesn't, I don't know. It's crazy. Let me get, okay. I'm going to let you watch the email one now, because I don't want to drag this. I don't want you to get bored, but you need to see this. Okay. Here's the email. So he sent out an email the day of the murders. Okay.
The email was sent at 5:24 p.m. on January 24th, 2023, 9 minutes after Patrick Clancy left his house. Lindsay Clancy's defense attorney asked him one question about it, and the whole internet has been chewing on the answer ever since. And that was sent from your Surface Pro? Patrick's answer? I don't know, actually. It could have been sent from my iPhone. Here's why that timestamp matters. The timeline has Patrick leaving home at 5:15. The CVS is a 1-mile drive, 3 minutes by his own account, so he should be there by 5:18. But surveillance shows him walking through the CVS doors at 5:32, and the email went out at 5:24, somewhere in between. Now understand what a Surface Pro is in this case. It's the family computer. It sits in the house, and it's the same machine that in August 2022 browsed a page about suicide methods, the digital evidence prosecutors have leaned on since opening statements. So when Kevin Reddington, 50 years practicing, considered one of the finest trial lawyers in Massachusetts, minutes, asks whether a 524 email came from that computer, he isn't making conversation. And Patrick's answer wasn't a simple no. Watch what Reddington built around it. Cross-examining a state cybercrime investigator, he established that on the morning of that August search, the Chrome browser was signed into Patrick's Gmail, while Lindsay's Facebook was open, while a Tom T. Hall song played on Spotify, while someone read the singer's Wikipedia page and clicked through to how he died. Earlier, with Patrick on the stand, Reddington had asked about his love of music. Then he said a name slightly wrong. You know a guy named Tim Hall? I think you mean Tom Hall. He made Patrick correct him, establishing for the jury that Patrick knew exactly who that artist was. Then he closed it. Records show Lindsay had a 9:45 a.m. alarm that morning to take Dawson to a doctor's appointment. The pediatrician confirmed she made it. The browsing continued after 9:48. It explains exactly what Reddington is doing. A defense attorney's only job is reasonable doubt, and he has spent weeks quietly establishing that the state's most damning digital evidence came from a computer that wasn't Lindsay's. The 524 email is the thread nobody pulled all the way, because Patrick Clancy has finished testifying, but he is expected to be back as a defense witness, which means that question and those 14 minutes may get an answer.
Okay, so explain that one. Oh, that's okay, Andrew. Explain that one. So he sent this email at 5:24. He supposedly left the house at 5:15. He's only 3 minutes from the CVS. Now, he said he should have been there at like 5:18. Okay, I'll give it maybe a little bit of time in between because traffic. You don't ever know. So we can't like say, oh, he should have been there at 5:18. Well, you know, he could have, but then there could have been some traffic. So we'll put that in there. But it come from his Surface Pro. That's at home. Lindsay actually was having a really good day with the kids. I just want to point that out. Patrick said she was having a really good day with the kids. And she had actually took Cora to a doctor's appointment that morning around the same time that these searches were going on with the Tom T. Hall, and then him clicking on the hyperlink, which went into how Tom T. Hall died by suicide. Now, why the frick would Lindsay look up Tom T. Hall and how he died of suicide when clearly that was Patrick's favorite singer? He was more interested in him. But at the same time, she's busy at the doctor with her child, trying to get her child checked because Cora was complaining of stomach aches and such, you know, things like that. So, explain that one. Explain that one. So she's busy. So why would she even have, because when you go to the doctor with your kids, yeah, you might sit there, or even the doctor for yourself, you might sit there and scroll your phone a little bit, but that's not the point. That's not the point. The searches had come from the Surface Pro, and she was not there. She was not there. Why would somebody be searching that up? And mind you, someone also searched up the fact that, asked about how the airbags can, how was that, Brandy? Something about the Kia Sorento, how would the airbags deploy, how, or what would happen, or something like that. That was strange. That was a strange search. Not something she would, I don't know. It's very strange, okay? So just take that in consideration, that he sent this email from his Surface Pro, but he shouldn't have been home regardless, because he went to CVS and then he went to pick up their food. But he's saying, well, it could have been sent from my iPhone. No, sir. The digital evidence goes, it points in the direction that come off your Surface Pro at home. Sit on that one. Sit on that one. Hey, Wojo, it's so good to see you. Had to cook for the church. Oh, prayers to you, Wojo. Thank you. That was so sweet. All right, now we're going to the web searches. So this is a video about the web searches that we were just talking about. It's just really strange, all of this. Okay. Screen share. Here we go. Here we go. Listen to this one.
The value associated with the source file is carotid artery.
That was one too.
And
Carotid
the
artery.
next box, how to slit your throat to die. And the next box, can you turn airbags off on Kia Sorento?
I'm just not exactly understanding where the people who are not at all suspicious of Patrick Clancy's heads are at this point in time. His statements are inconsistent. His story is inconsistent, point blank period. But something that has been bothering me since I saw it was whenever he mentioned he came back from the store and from grabbing food, he said that he pulled up beside Lindsay's car. And then he says whenever he got inside, he looked outside because he couldn't find anybody in the house and said he was looking to see if her car was there after he said that he had parked beside it. And whenever they asked what kind of car she drove, he said a Kia SUV. He never mentioned specifically what the make of the car was. I believe they said that he was driving like a white Silverado, some type of truck, and then they asked what type of vehicle she drove, and it was like a dark colored Kia SUV. Those were the words that he used. And for some reason that really stuck with me because I was like, why would you not know what your wife's vehicle was? Like down to the year and the interior color. Like how would you not know what your wife was driving around whenever she was driving, because she was also driving your children around? I'm not understanding why you wouldn't know that information. And then it clicked in my head after seeing these searches. One of the searches was, can you turn off the airbags in a Kia Sorento? He knows exactly what vehicle she was driving. He was just trying to make it seem as though he couldn't remember. And that in some way, shape, or form, in my opinion, these are all my opinions, is some sort of plausible deniability. How could he be looking up like how to turn off the airbags in a Kia Sorento when he didn't exactly remember what she was driving? Trying to maybe set off, you know what I mean? It's like he's been trying to be calculated, but he's just not as smart as he thinks he is. And then also not making sense. Where is the carotid artery? And his wife is a nurse. You go through anatomy and physiology, and one of the pulses that you check whenever you're checking to see if someone is still alive is the carotid artery. So she knows exactly where the carotid artery is. And then how to your throat to unalive yourself? None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. You can tell me that I'm crazy and you can tell me that I'm reaching, because I did have someone in my last video say that I was reaching a little. I just don't think that I am. I think that I'm seeing it for exactly what it is. You don't have to think the same thing, but this is exactly what I think. And quite frankly, you would have to give me some really compelling arguments for me to change the way that I feel about it, because it's literally right here in front of us. Everything about his stories have been inconsistent or debunked by the paramedics, by the investigators, and by himself. Now tell me if I'm crazy. I do want your opinion. Do you think that I'm onto something whenever I'm saying that he said on purpose Kia SUV whenever they were questioning him about the vehicles, because he needed some type of plausible deniability whenever they were asking him about the searches for the turning the airbags off in a Kia Sorento? Am I crazy?
All right. What do you think about that? The searches are also a big factor for me, because she would not, being a nurse, she would not have to search for the carotid artery. Like, she wouldn't have to do that. And then the fact that he, when he said he come back home, he clearly parked beside of her, but then he said he was going to call her because he didn't know she was home. Sir, didn't you just park right beside of her vehicle? How is no one catching this? Like, that's, unless they are, and they just have to keep going through, with this portion. But it's like, they need to check back into this dude. Like, there is something wrong. And I don't know. I'm just hoping I'm hoping you see the same thing that I'm seeing. Now, let's see. Now, the children are killed. So, according to the evidence presented at trial, Lindsay strangled the 3 children using the resistance bands. Okay. The children were found in the basement after Patrick returned home. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the video on about the DNA. Okay. The DNA on the bands. Why it doesn't make sense that if I pick up anything, okay, just anything, and you know this, you're not stupid. All right, my DNA is on this now, okay? Especially if I was taking something like a cord or whatever. Like, we'll take for instance this, okay? Let's pretend this is a band. I'm putting this around someone's neck. I'm wrapping it around them and I'm pulling it. I mean, I am pulling it tight to make it close off their circulation. Do you not think, like, my DNA would be on this like crazy, okay? It would be all over it, the bands. It would be all over it. Sweat, skin, whatever you, oils, it would be on it, okay? That's my, it's, oh my God. This whole thing is just making me so mad. Okay. Because I just feel like the girl's innocent. But anyways, Sam could be a detective. I should have been. I should have went through with it. Dagnabbit, I could be in that courtroom getting people. Now, mind you, being the prosecutors in this case would be very hard because you're the Commonwealth. That's what they're up there. The Commonwealth, that would be really hard because you're trying to find every reason that this woman knew exactly what she was doing. She's guilty. It would be really hard when you're going up against what they have. So with all of this evidence, all of this that's happening, that would be really hard. It would. I agree with you. I agree with you, Sam. A lot of his no, they're not adding up. They missed it because they wasn't looking for it. I don't know how you can be blind and trying to investigate this. I mean, come on. I mean, common sense went out the window. Yeah, common sense went out the window. Tyler, one second. I don't want you to think I didn't see your comment. Tyler Sexton, you come in and said, so we're saying that she didn't kill it. I'm saying I don't think she killed her kids. It's my opinion, and you can form your own after this, but I'm saying I don't think she did. Okay. All right. Now we're going to talk about this one. So this is the DNA video.
Analysts tested the exercise bands used to kill the Clancy children. Lindsay Clancy's DNA was excluded from most of them entirely. Katerina Stashin worked in the DNA unit at the Massachusetts State Police Crime Lab. She analyzed swabs taken from the ends and the middle of each band, comparing them against known profiles from all 5 members of the family. On the ends of the yellow band, where you'd grip it, the profile came back a mixture. Dawson Clancy was included with overwhelming statistical support. Cora, Callan, Patrick, and Lindsay were all excluded. On the middle of that same yellow band, the mixture included Dawson, Callan, and Patrick. Cora and Lindsay were excluded. The ends of the black band produced a profile too complex to use at all, possibly 5 or more contributors, which exceeds what the lab's technology can interpret. Only on the middle of the black band did Lindsay appear, and her likelihood ratio was 11. To understand that number, consider the others in that same sample. Cora, 1.6 nonillion. Dawson, 870 trillion. Patrick, 220,000. Lindsay's was 11. The analyst herself flagged it. The lab's own validation studies show that people who definitely aren't contributors can produce ratios ratios between 2 and 1,000. Her testimony was blunt. That inclusion could be coincidental. There's a reason all of this is so tangled. The analyst explained it repeatedly. When you test DNA from a family, everyone shares enormous amounts of genetic material. Parents with children, siblings with each other. It makes determining how many people contributed extraordinarily difficult, and it can cause both false inclusions and false exclusions. But then she turned to the outside of the house, and those results were completely different. A swab from a stain on the back exterior of 47 Summer Street. No mixture, no ambiguity. A single female contributor. The likelihood ratio? 18 octillion for Lindsay Clancy. Everyone else in the family excluded. A second stain further down. Another single contributor. 96 trillion. Lindsay again. Everyone else excluded. That's her blood on the outside of the house, below the window she went out. So the jury now holds two very different sets of numbers. On the murder weapons, a genetic knot of a family's shared DNA where Lindsay barely registers at all. And on the shingles beneath that second-story window, her blood alone. Clean, unmistakable, and impossible to argue with.
All right. So, explain to me that one. Explain to me that one. Her DNA was only 11. Barely anything on that bands, which blows my mind because, like I said, he left. He went to go to CVS to get Cora some medication. I think it was to use the bathroom. And he goes to get pickup. Meanwhile, during that whole time that he's gone, Lindsay has got to take those bands, wrap them around each kid, pull it in their life, and you're telling me that her DNA is not anywhere on the bands, and it's not enough on the one. It's only 11 because there was so many contributors to that one band, and hers was just, it's just mind-blowing. It's just mind-blowing to me. The invisible accomplice or mystery person helping with the yeah, only contamination or some level of it would be deemed inadmissible. I think you would think, because they don't even have that to stand on. The prosecutors don't even have that to stand on. If they had the evidence come back that, like just like the side of the house, the trillion. If they would have had that come back on the band, it was just all her DNA and all the kids' DNA, I would understand that. But, okay, let's just back up for a minute. Okay, just say that they are a family, a healthy, like they love to work out, they love to run. Patrick likes to work out, Patrick likes to run. Now, Patrick could have used the resistance bands to work out with. Yes, this is true, okay? But my point is, it doesn't seem like Lindsay uses them as much, because if she did, wouldn't there be, like all the bands, wouldn't there have been all of their DNA on the bands? It just blows my mind. That's just crazy. Because you would think she would be all over that band, especially having to, wrap it and then pulling it. And she had to hold on pretty tight, because some of those resistance bands are not as, they're not as resistant. Like, you can literally just pull them. So it just baffles me just a little bit. She didn't do it. He did. Framed her, threw her out the window at the end. That's what I'm getting. Benno, that's what I'm getting to. That's truly sad. He tossed her out the window. I think he did. You said she was a nurse, I believe. I'm sure she has rubber gloves. True. Now, see, Andrew makes a good point. Andrew makes a really good point. Someone could have used gloves. Good point. See, this is what I'm talking about. That's something that I didn't think about. CVS was a failed alibi. Yeah, and nothing indicated as far as her being drugged. No, she was drugged. She had drugs in her system, D-Hoot. She was intoxicated. I'm going to get to that. Or she was trying to escape from him, locked the door, and tried to escape out the window and threw her. Jessica, that's really good, because for some reason, and I'm going to get to this too, she didn't feel safe. So, hey, Carolyn, it's so good to see you. The band, sure. What about the new wife posting on the tour guide page in 2025 stating it was their third year? Oh, yeah, Cassandra. Good point, honey. Good point. Because her and Patrick, so his new wife, Rachel, okay, she's a fertility doctor or whatever's, and Patrick would run marathons. Well, it's funny because 3 years prior to this, her and Patrick was at the same marathons. At the same marathons. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. You're going to see more. You're going to see, but he was totally, I'm telling you, he was having an affair before this. He was. 100%. There's no doubt. That too, Miss Jessie B, at this point, we can only speculate the truth. Yeah. We're only speculating, and like I said, at the end of the day, this is my opinion, and I none of what I'm saying matters or is going to affect the case or is going to determine what happens to Lindsay or what's going to happen to Patrick, because I'm not in it. You know, I'm just someone that just has an opinion on what I think happened. And looking at the evidence and looking at everything that's happened, I'm telling you, this is what I think happened. It's the only thing that makes sense. Like, you can't look at this with common sense and not say and not question. You know, I've had people commenting on my reels saying, you know, how stupid it is to think this way and how stupid this and this and this. Well, you know what else is stupid to me is for you to sit there and not even raise one question. Not even raise one question. Just take this one man's word. She did it. That's it. End of story. Arrest her. She's done. She had postpartum depression. She was intoxicated. So that could only mean that she did it. That could only mean that she did it. Not some dude that can't even keep his story straight on the stand. At the same time, he was not intoxicated. He was in his right mind. He could think clearly, but someone who was severely intoxicated, had a mental health problem, was able to calculate how fast she needed to kill the kids, then get back upstairs, then slit her wrist, then slit her throat, and then throw herself out of a window. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. So, whew, I'm getting fired up again. I'm so sorry. As a defense, oh yeah, D-Hoot, Reddington has questioned Patrick, and he has caught him in several things. You need to watch it. I'm sure. I'm sure you'll catch it. I mean, go from day one all the way till now, and just watch it through. Skip through the breaks, all that stuff. You will see. You will see. So much more points to him than her, but because they didn't investigate him, there isn't any way to investigate it now. They knew what happened, so they didn't even look at him. Yeah, thank you, Cassandra. Cassandra Hicks, thank you. I'm sure you're one of my new followers, and I appreciate you so much for following me from the reels, because it's an incredible experience. I've never seen so many women band together. It's just crazy. But yeah, they didn't even question him. It's like I said, they took his word. He said she did it, and so that was the end of the story. Let's arrest her. We're not even going to investigate him. We're not going to even look at it at any different angle. This is a man who came back home. He's so devastated. Mind you, I'm going to make a point on that one later too. He's devastated, and he calls 911, and he's hysterical, and he's all of these things, and he's of sound mind, and give me a break. Just give me a break with that. I don't want to hear it. Because as a detective and as an investigator, it should be a point to be made to look at every single angle from this. You don't take one man's account. Oh, she did it. Really? That's what we're going with, just because he said it. Just because he said it. Almost reminds me of the Scott Peterson case of California. Yeah. Yep. I'm sorry, this topic makes me sick. Love y'all. Miss Anthropic, thank you for coming. I understand. It is a very sad topic. It's very controversial. It has caused a massive divide, and I can understand why. I can. Because anyone that is just looking at the highlights and looking at the posts and not, if you're not watching it for an hour from, and I know some people can't because you work, you have jobs, you can't just sit there, but if you could just sit and watch, you would see that there's just a lot wrong with it. And all most people see is there's a woman, she killed all 3 of her kids because she had postpartum depression, and that's it. I mean, that's all you know. And so it's why it's important. If you see a case and you want to know more about it, instead of just jumping to, yeah, she did it, whatever. No. Watch the trial. I mean, watch it play out to determine, just because you're not sitting in the jury box don't mean you can't be, over here be a jury yourself, because that's what we're doing, right? And why would you, knowing she had stated she would possibly harm her or the kids, not want his parents to take the kids for a while? Or why leave her at home alone with him? Makes no sense. Cassandra, I had made that point earlier. He says in a video that I had played earlier, and be sure to go back and rewatch, the prosecutor asked him, she said, has Lindsay ever told you any of her thoughts? He said no, at first. Then she comes back later and she brings up that same thing. And then he says that he shared the thoughts that she had of harming the kids. Well, then why did you stay gone all the time? Why did you constantly go on trips? Why did you leave her there alone with your kids? If she was saying these things, why did you not allow them to go with your parents until you got her help? Don't know. Marriages and affairs, no, they don't, Andrew. They end horribly. No. Well, didn't she admit to it? Well, D-Hoot, that's the thing. So Reddington had a reason for it, because if she had just said she was guilty, okay, she was saying that she was not in her right mind, basically insanity, going with the insanity theory, okay? But there is a tactic here that Reddington's doing. He needed to get Patrick on the stand. If we had not got Patrick on the stand, guess what? I wouldn't have this information that I'm sharing with you right now. She doesn't probably know what happened. Maybe she does. I don't know. We're taking this man's word for it. We were not there. We're taking his word for it. He said this is what happened. I'm just finding it hard to believe that's what happened, going by the evidence that surrounds it. It makes no sense to me. I was just barely a teenager when I found out my old man was having an affair, but divorce was his answer. So I don't know why people gotta go whacking people over. Yeah, I mean, just get a divorce. Just be done. Don't kill people. Just, it's not worth it. Maybe that's why they didn't look at others. Did she admit it? I believe, oh God, I want to say Reddington had her say that she did, but Lindsay didn't know any different, because you have to think, if he had a plan, of course he would advise her, because we wouldn't be where we are right now with this trial, looking at all the holes. You know what I'm saying? She was intoxicated. I just don't see how she would have known. There was a drink, there was a cup on her nightstand. It said "because kids," and there had been crushed up 3 different medications in whatever she drank. Okay, which I'm thinking could have been. I'm going to show you a video about it. No, the answer is not killing. She survived the fall. Yeah, Andrew, she's paraplegic. She broke her back. She threw herself out the window. Yeah. Cassandra. I thought she didn't remember the day of, only the day before, and then the hospital. I don't know that she actually admitted that she did. I don't know either. Cause see, that was the video that I was trying to pull up that my best friend sent me, and I can't find it. But you can research it. You can YouTube it. You don't have to sit here and take my word. I mean, you can go find it. But I just don't see. From what I remember, she doesn't know what had happened. She woke up from her coma asking if they were okay, if her family was okay. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I heard them say yes, but she is paraplegic. Yeah, Benno, she's paraplegic now. She can't do anything. She's done. She's done. All right. Now, let's see. That was the DNA on the bands. Okay, and I'm trying to do this in order. Okay. Now, Patrick, okay, when he came home, he described how he found the kids. So now we're going to get into how he found them. He has a strange reason why he didn't call 911 or why the 911 call didn't go. I'm going to show that first. So he gets home. He notices there's something wrong. He's like, it's too quiet in the house. The bedroom door is locked, and he can't find the kids. And then he finds them he finds her, and then he asks her where are the kids, and she says basement. Somehow she's managed to get that out. He goes to the basement. He finds the kids. This is the video that he made with the 911 call. That was very strange, as well. So here we go.
Did you call 911?
I don't know the exact time, but it took a few minutes because my phone was switching between Wi-Fi and 911. So I almost just started calling out for the neighbors, but eventually it went through.
Okay.
Let me
Point,
pause
did
that.
you
Hang on.
call 911?
Let me pause it. Oh my god. All right. Now, this says, no, you do not need Wi-Fi to call 911. Mobile phones can connect to 911 using standard cellular networks, even if you have no active service plan, no carrier signal from your own provider, or are locked out of your phone. Really? Interesting. Yep, Andrew. So, that's weird, right? That's a strange thing to say. His Wi-Fi, and this now, mind you, Patrick works for Microsoft, so he's really good with technology and computers and all that good stuff. Cassandra said, hospital conversations. A hospital chaplain and a clinical psychologist testified that once she was extubated, she recounted explicit elements of the incidents. She just looked that up. Okay, thank you, Cassandra. So she recounted some of the elements. Okay, that makes sense. So, all right, that was his strange 911 call. Now, or the reason, or him calling 911. Now, I can't get the 911 recording for some reason. I can't find it, like his actual phone call. But they did describe it as when he called 911, he was hysterical. He was crying. He was all over the place. He was this, he was that, he was this, he was that. Because he found his kids. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, normal person, you come in, you find your kids dead. Of course you're going to be hysterical. But in this special case, can you name one other person that I've talked about that called 911 and was also hysterical. Anybody want to shoot? Anybody want to guess who I'm talking about? Who else in another case called 911 and was completely devastated? Their family was murdered and they were hysterical on the 911 call. That's not hard to do. I'm going to see if anybody says it. If not, I'm going to play it. Thank you, Andrew. And you don't have to agree with me because it's me, but gotta head to bed. Night, everyone. Good night, Your Honor. Oh, good night, Paul. I'm so glad you come in. I guess you can catch the rest later. I hope you have a good night's sleep. And yeah, I will see you on your shows next week, okay? Let's see. Yes, that's true, but sometimes your phone will go on Wi-Fi and off Wi-Fi. Maybe he was trying to get it to turn off so he could stop going between. Plus, with the cameras not working, I could see the Wi-Fi going in and out, making the call harder to place, trying to connect. Okay, Cassandra makes a good point. All right, see, this is what I'm talking about. Good conversation. Maybe that is the case, Cassandra. We won't completely throw that out. It is unusual, but we will not throw that out because that could have been the case. There were cameras in all throughout the house, which I found very strange. Most of them were unplugged. Strange. Sam, in the 80s, I went through the #1 interview and interrogation course in the country at that time. Based on what I learned, he is that D-Hoot. Okay, we're learning something else about D-Hoot. That is awesome, D-Hoot. Absolutely awesome. Oh my God. That makes my heart happy. That's so cool, D-Hoot. So, yeah, I just think he's lying. It's about the body language. Thank you, ma'am. It is. It's about the body. It's about the body language. Chris Watts. Chris Watts had a interview with the news station. Remember? He was like, I just want him to come home. And he's smiling, right? I'm going to show you. I'll show you. It'll ring a bell when you see it. See? 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 Yep.
Hampton County 911, where's your emergency? This is Alex Murdoch at 4147 Moselle Road. I need the police to ambulance immediately. My wife and child just shot badly. Okay, you said 4147 Moselle Road in Allison? Sir? You said 4147 Moselle Road in Allison? Yes, sir. 4147 Moselle Road. Stay on the line with me, okay? Yes, sir. Stay on the line with me, okay?
You see what I'm saying? Alex Murdaugh. And I followed that case, and I watched that whole entire trial. I watched that whole entire one, too. Yep, Cassandra, that's right. He said he was hysterical. You heard him. He was absolutely hysterical. He was the one that shot his own wife and shot his own son. That is not hard. It's just not hard. Let's see. On my phone, even though I don't have Wi-Fi or signal cuts out while I'm on the road, it'll still let me call 911 if I need to. Yeah, Andrew. He still says it wasn't. I know, Cassandra, he is even if, okay, yeah, Benno, crazy. Even if Alex Murdaugh didn't do it, and I don't want to go off on another one, he's still in there for life, just for fraud, embezzlement and fraud. So he just needs to shut up and sit down. That's right. Shut up and sit down, because nothing else makes sense about his story either. His timeline was a mess. He had too many witnesses. You know, he had the nurse that was taking care of his dad dying, and it's just like, shut up. Just shut up. You don't even make sense anymore, man. And so he's trying to bring that back. I think he's trying to press for another trial on that. I don't even know why he bothers. He's going to be in there for the rest of his life just on the financial crimes alone. So just shut up. Shut up. You killed him. Shut up. Fluttering eyes, messing with his collar, etc. Also, most men look up and to the right when being dishonest. Just saying. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. 100%. Now, we have went over all of that, and now what I'm going to show you now is the viral Bratz doll reenactment video, because supposedly Lindsay had cut her neck, cut her wrist, threw herself out a window. And she quickly drank 3 different medications of crushed pills. Okay. So let's see that. From the beginning, he said he would only testify if they didn't subpoena his phone records. Oh, yeah. Let's bring that up. He said he would only testify if they did not get his phone records. Okay, now why not? Why not, Patrick? Your kids have been killed. If mine, you know what I'm saying? I'm throwing everything I got. Take it all. Take whatever you need. Like, figure this out. Let's do this. Oh, but he doesn't want his phone records subpoenaed. So isn't that fishy? Because he didn't want anyone to see that he's been having this affair for a long time. And family annihilators, such as Chris Watts, just what Cassandra had brought up earlier, Chris Watts, he annihilated his whole freaking family over one stupid woman. One stupid woman. When all he had to do was just get a freaking divorce and move on. But no, we don't want to do that. We want to kill him. Completely kill him. Finding out that he's fixing to have a son sent him over the edge, apparently. Blows my mind how one woman can make one man be that. I have no idea. But we've seen it so many times. Family annihilators, we've seen it so many times. And this one just so happens to possibly be getting away with it. All because he said, my wife did it. They're just because he's got people in high places, folks. The DA that was on this case, correct me if I'm wrong, okay, in the beginning, because I haven't dove back that far, but I will say that I've seen highlights where the DA that was in the beginning of this, it's a totally different person, is now living in their house. Now, mind you, Patrick sold their house. He created a GoFundMe, and he took all the money from selling the house and the GoFundMe. And guess what he did? He took himself on a little trip, right? He took himself on a little trip. All right. But yeah, that DA is in that house. ADA, yeah. He was in that. He lives in that house now. So, and he won't let them come to the house. He won't let the jury see the house. He don't want anyone near the house. Why? Why? No one can make anyone do anything they're not willing to. That's right, D-Hoot. That's right. All right, now we're going to talk about the Bratz dolls. This is the reenactment, okay? And it's a good one. It's a good one. She's going to explain how she thinks what happened, okay? On how she thinks that this was done, okay?
The Women of the World v. Patrick Clancy, I'm going to prove that Lindsay Clancy's bedroom was staged. using Bratz dolls and a shoebox reconstruction of the crime scene, because I noticed something that absolutely nobody else has noticed, not even the blood experts. And if they did notice, they strategically omitted it from their testimony because it proves that Lindsay Clancy is innocent. My only credentials are that my brain works like this, guys.
This was my design.
If you know, you know. And I'm a forensic files enthusiast, back to back. Everyone needs to see this, and the only way that I know how to explain it is by showing you. That's why I made the reconstruction. Please stay with me and watch this, because I'm going to be reenacting the scene the way that I see it when I look at the crime scene. This is your trigger warning. If you're sensitive to domestic violence and blood and graphic detail, do not watch this video. I've managed to semi-accurately dress Lindsay in a black tank top and jeans, but unfortunately my male Bratz doll didn't come with a weaker jawline, and he doesn't have accurate clothing to what Patrick was wearing other than the first pair of shoes, so excuse me for that. First, let's do a quick tour. This is the doorway, this is the navy shelves, represents the mirror, blood spot A, this represents the pillow next to the mirror, the pillowcase next to the mirror. I've just drawn some blue on the floor. Lindsay's slippers, the green tub, assorted linens I've just depicted using just a pencil here just for reference, blood spot B, blood spot C, and our drawers along with our knife. And I've roughly indicated where the cups were and the spray bottles on the bedside table there. Then we have our Lindsay, the phone on the bed. Excuse the old vintage phone, wasn't really a thing back when Bratz dolls were made. I saw the theory that Lindsay had the window shut on her neck, but unfortunately I have a more plausible explanation as to what's happened to Lindsay and why her thyroid was crushed, so let's get into it. I've also made sure I can move the bed because it's vitally important, and what kicked this off for me is what I saw when I saw the blood and the bed. Okay, from the top, here's our Lindsay. Our Lindsay is sleeping. I think that the Benadryl in the cup full of lemonade wasn't a suicide attempt, it was a sleep aid. Our Lindsay was sleeping, and she was probably sleeping a long time before this kicked off. What I'm alleging has happened is Lindsay has been rendered unconscious, and that is what has caused her thyroid injury. The safest thing to do was to turn off the Apple Watch to make sure it wasn't tracking any of her movement, because any movement from her part or lack thereof was going to be suspicious.
He took the Apple Watch downstairs with him to the basement, turned it back on, and then used it to send himself a work email so that it would be reasonably explained that he had nothing to do with her Apple Watch activity. Then I'm alleging that he dragged her unconscious body to the edge of the bed and sat her facing the mirror because he needed to see what he was doing. His plan was to be able to hold her upright and make every single wound look self-inflicted. When he cut her wrist and caused blood spot A, he realized that it's going to be impossible to keep her limp body upright and keep blood off himself, especially if she started to stir from deep pain stimulus in that wrist. So what does he do? He panics. Our Lindsay is still bleeding off the edge of the bed because her hand has been positioned there. She's unconscious, and he moves the bed, which then causes the blood to travel. Excuse the length ratio here, it's not perfectly to scale, but it explains the blood trail from blood spot A over here without any touching on the bed. Next, what does he do? He gets back on the bed, positions our Lindsay back upright. He knows he still can't get any blood on the bed, but he has to make it look like she's up and standing and moving around voluntarily, right? He struggles to fling her unconscious body, which may or may not have caused the only spatter transfer in the bedroom on the mirror. He then maneuvers her body this way, creating this blood trail up here, and then positions her on the bed, creating blood spot B. After he panicked and dragged the bed, I think that's when the blood spots happened by the door, and that's also when he pressed the push lock with bloody gloves to make sure the kids couldn't come up and interrupt him. So we've left a trail up to blood spot B. I'm alleging that Lindsay's already bleeding wrist is limp and hanging downwards, and nothing but gravity is causing these passive blood droplets on the floor. So
from here, he realizes it's going to be challenging to grab the knife and return it to this side table, which would be his workstation. So what does he do? He moves it. It's possible that during that process he actually dropped the knife, because there was a spatter pattern and some small impact around this little puddle. But I'm not sure the chronology of events. But now he's got access to that left side, he can reach it, and he can work on this other wrist. He then cuts her right wrist, which creates blood spot C. And again, she's limp. Her arms are positioned. Forgive the Bratz dolls again. They're not going to be exact. But her arms are limp over the bed. That's why he moved the bed, so that he can wedge her and press her up against it. Make sure she stays asleep and make sure she stays still, so no blood gets on the bed, meaning no blood gets on him. I'm not sure if he moved the curtain before or after he moved the side table, but this transfer pattern I think is from him with his gloved up hands moving the curtain to the side. So I'm not sure if he did that when he moved the side table or did that just before he put her through the window. It could have been either or, but it's to make room. Same with this curtain here. I'm alleging it was moved out of the way because there's still blood droplets at the base of where the curtains were, but none on the actual curtains. So I'm thinking they were out of the way. I think he brought her chest up and then he cut her neck. But because he didn't have the mirror to see, he wasn't sure if he cut the carotid artery. That's why it was superficial, but yet still bleeding. Maybe not as actively as the rest, but it's because he can't see. Now he has to get her through the window. So I'm thinking her right wrist went first, and that's what started the transfer pattern here on the exterior of the window, next to that odd orange silicone or whatever it was on the exterior. And from the inside, while he's trying to do that, this wrist is now bleeding more freely in this direction. And he brings her arm over, again being mindful not to get blood on himself. And that's where we see this transfer pattern on the interior of the window. So once her arms are out, then pushes her forward, and she's on by her hips. The reason I don't subscribe to the idea that he slammed her neck in the window is because he needed her unconscious well before that, but also there's no real blood on the center of that window, only transfer on the outside and on the inside on opposite sides. So he has her out by her hips, and it's at least a few seconds that she's dangling unconscious here, which is where our exterior blood patterns come from. The prosecution reckons that there was blood in between here, but I disagree. I don't think it looks like blood at all. I think it just looks like general stains on the exterior of the house that have nothing to do with it, and she never tested it, so I'm just ignoring it. So that's not there. Just these two marks that were obviously from her wrist. And then down here on the ledge of the window, where it was obviously from her hands on the way down. And then he drops her. And there she is outside on the snow, well in advance of any of this being put into motion. And there he is. He's finished with Lindsay, and now he has to set the rest of the scene. Now here's my smoking gun. The curtains are returned to normal, and he starts to examine the room and try to figure out what looks unnatural. So he moves the bedside table back to where it was. And what does he do? He doesn't realize no blood on the curtain behind it, which is inconsistent with the amount of action going on the surface of that table. But the most important mistake he made is right down here, because underneath that side table leg are two perfectly circular passive blood drops. from when he was working on her before. And he's just moved this bedside table directly over the top of those bloodstains, which means the scene was staged, because nowhere in this room, in this situation, in any of this blood, in any of this action, nowhere are Lindsay's fingerprints. If she was bleeding and doing all of this herself, her fingerprints would be on either side of this table. He's moved it and put it back over those blood droplets unknowingly to make it look as natural as possible, as though she came over here, stood there, cut her wrists and went out the window.
When that's obviously not what happened. So that's just kind of gives you an idea. I thought that was a brilliantly made video. I thought that woman done a really good job talking you through how each of the blood splatters on the floor. Well, that was scary. That was a gunshot. Oh boy. Anyways, that was scary. Oh my God. That's scary. I don't know ooh, that's scary. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that was gunshots. So anyway, I thought she done a really good job reenacting how the blood would have wound up in the floor and not everywhere like he said, okay? Because he was saying that it was all over the room like a hose, remember? So I just think the way she described it is very, very accurate. I really think that's how it happened. You did hear that? That's scary. Yes, that was gunshots. I don't know why. But I'm just gonna stay in here. So, but yes, so I thought she done really good. Now, I was going to, because we're at 2 hours, and I have got 1, 2, 3. Oh my God. I have got a lot more to go, you guys. This would be a long, yeah. So I've been through this much. So I've been through these many, okay? And you've seen that many videos. I still got this much more to go. All right. That's a lot. Like, it don't, if there is a lot more videos that we got to cover. Now I was going to show you, because this is a very complicated thing, and I have to, like, it's not going to make sense unless I show all these videos. Let me see about the DNA. So the DNA, I think I covered. I did the DNA on the bands, but I don't think, so this is the point. Okay, so since I'm going to show you one more video, and then what I think I'm going to do is, since we're at 2 hours, you guys have held on so long, and you have been here, and I appreciate you so much. Like, the support is just wonderful, from new followers to my OGs. I'm so glad. But what I think I'll do is I'll make this a 2-parter. So this is the part 1, and then next Friday we'll just go ahead and do part 2. So I need you in between that time to do your own research. If you want to, start from day 1. If you don't like that, watch the highlights. Research to your heart's desire. Don't just take my word for it, because this is strictly my opinion. But the last video that I'll show you is the DNA of the knife, because you saw the knife on the nightstand, okay? Ironically, if Lindsay, her DNA is not on there either. If Lindsay had used the knife to cut and do all these things, her DNA would be on the knife, okay? Someone committing suicide is not going to care whether their DNA is on a weapon or not, because obviously they're dead. They don't care. Why should they care? Why should they wear gloves? But that would be the only reason why you wouldn't find her DNA on the knife. Latent fingerprints, anything. It's not on there. But I'm going to show you the video. Do you need to go check? No, Jesse, I don't think I want to go check on that. Because number one, I don't know where that come from, and I ain't trying to die. So I'll just stay in here and just with mine, because I'm packing. Don't worry. And yeah, don't worry. I'm not checking on that. This is perfect setup. Yep, in a cover up. Yeah, it is, Andrew. Andrew, you could be a detective. Why are you driving trucks? Do you know when this case is at? So D-Hoot, the defense, I believe, rested today. I think Kevin Reddington rested today. So come Monday, I believe it will be the deliberations will start. So we're going to get an answer next week, obviously, what the jury thinks. It's been so, thank you, Benno. I love being called judge. I should be a judge. I wished I would have went through with that. Frick. But here we are. So I'm going to pull up the DNA on the knife. Oh boy. And I want you to watch this last video. And then what we'll do is, so I don't drag you on, because I'm telling you, I got a lot more videos. Like, this is not it. And if I play what videos I have, you're going to be here till, I don't know. We could be here till 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking, because as much as I have to say, and as much as it would, yeah. So here is the DNA on the knife, and then we'll wrap it up. So,
you recall collecting the knife?
Yes.
Why would you collect the knife as part of the crime scene services as opposed to the crime scene response?
So we would collect the knife because that would be an item that would be processed for fingerprints at the lab. So fingerprints are extremely fragile. Anything that the forensic scientist would do would destroy any fingerprints that may or may not be on a item of evidence.
Is that item familiar to you?
Yes, it is.
Is that the knife that you collected that was located at placard number 7?
Yes.
As far as your analysis of those items for fingerprints, what did you do to try to identify if there was anything on them?
So when we're examining for fingerprints, we're looking for latent prints, which are fingerprints that aren't necessarily visible to the naked eye. Therefore, chemicals must be applied to bring it out to make them visible. Those are non-porous items. So for those, we would use, it's commonly referred to, what was cyanoacrylate ester. It's more commonly known as superglue. And we put them in a chamber with the superglue. The superglue is heated. There's water, so there's humidity in this chamber. The entire chamber fills with superglue fume, so it adheres to anything fingerprint related on those items. Once the chamber is cleared of the fumes, you open it, and then you can now see if there are any fingerprints on there.
Is it fair
and
to say
that also hardens and preserves the fingerprints on the items of evidence for further testing if needed.
Okay, and is it fair to say that when you touch an item and leave some remnants of a fingerprint, it's the oils and everything that are on your finger that leave the impression on the item?
Yes.
And so are there things that can affect whether you actually get enough information to analyze a fingerprint?
Yes.
What kinds of things can influence that?
So it could be the texture of the actual object itself. It could also be environmental factors. If there's low humidity, could be if there's the person touching the item might not have residue on their hands. There's also movement can affect fingerprints. The strength, the grip on an item also affects that, as well as they could be wiped off because fingerprints, like I said, are very, very, very fragile.
Okay, and so is it oftentimes the case that you analyze for a print and don't find anything of value?
Yes.
And so as it pertains to these items that you reviewed, the knife, the exercise bands, can you tell us what your findings were when it came to the knife?
Yes, the knife did have limited detail, meaning that there were areas of friction ridge impressions, which is that's what we've referred to fingerprints. Is the friction ridge skin is the skin that covers your palms and your fingers and your toes and your feet. The friction ridge skin is what leaves the impression on an object. So there was an area of friction ridge impression on that knife. So it was photographed further and giving an item number. Upon further analysis, there was not enough detail to do a comparison.
So when you photograph it for further analysis, why do you do that?
Do that in order to take a deeper look to see if there was enough characteristics or minutia to do a comparison to a known print.
So with a photograph, you can enhance it and look at it closer, correct?
Correct.
But after doing that, were you able to make any sort of opinions about that area on the knife?
Yes, there was not enough characteristics or minutia to do any comparison, so it was deemed no value.
And as far as the exercise bands, fair to say you also did the same and examined those to try to identify if they had any friction ridge detail or anything of value that you could conduct a comparison on, right?
Yes.
And was there any on either the yellow band, the black band, or the blue band?
No, there was not enough to do. No value.
Do you recall?
All right, so there you have it. There's the video on the DNA on the knife. And so that ought to tell you something. That ought to tell you a lot. And up until this point, everything I've said ought to tell you a whole freaking lot. Now, I was thinking while we were listening to that video, I was thinking for me to do part 2 on Friday, we'll probably already have our answer to this case by that point. So with that, I know I can't do it tonight because we would be here a long time. And I know, Andrew, I know you got all the time in the freaking world, but not everybody does. And I don't want to lose you. Because I know this can be, not everybody likes trials. Not everybody likes this, and it can be long and drawn out. I, however, live for it. Oh, I live for it. I love watching a court case. I don't care what sitting in the court when I was doing my senior project, when I was mentoring for the district attorney here, he was like, he's like, you want to sit in there? Because he gave me a packet. I kid you not. I mean, it was that thick. It was that thick of different of what was going to happen. Like, I had to sit in the jury box, but at that time, the jury box was filled with people who were having a case that day. So inmates. And I was in the midst of it, and I was sitting next to police and the cops and stuff and detectives, but it was just crazy. And so I got to sit in on a case with him, and that experience was wild, and it just lit a fire. I was like, this is exactly what I want to do. Now life threw a curveball, and that's not where I went, and that's fine. But I absolutely love it. I love it. And this case has almost been as passionate as I was with Alex and Jodi Arias. And I mean, I have sat through some cases. Tupac is a big one. I haven't really been into Tupac because I've been consumed with this one. But the Idaho 4 with Brian Koberger, that's another one. He's trying to get a trial for that. So if that happens, I'm going to be on that like white on rice. So what I'll do is, my whole point, I know I went around the long way, but so I'm going to ask you guys' opinion on this, okay? Because I really don't know what to do. because I kind of want to get the second half of this before deliberation, because we're going to have an answer next week. There's no doubt. And Friday will be too late, I think. Or it'll just be stupid to even tell you part 2, especially when we know. I mean, I guess. What do you guys think? Give me an answer before I go. Do you want me to possibly go live? Either I could go live Sunday at 9 or Monday at 9. So I would definitely make it at 9 because that's my regular time. And I usually don't. I know I don't go live on those days, but in order to get the second part of this out before the jury comes back next week, I would say, unless you don't care and you want, unless you don't care and you just want to wait till Friday, go on during Jean's slot if she's going to be gone. D-Hoot, I will talk to Jean about that. I will talk to Richie about that. If that's cool with them and everybody's chill with it, I could do that. But you decide. I just want to be sure that it's on a day that everyone can accommodate. I want to accommodate for everyone so you don't miss part 2. So if that's what you want me to do, D-Hoot, I can text you. I'll talk to Jean, I'll talk to Richie, and I'll find out if that's cool. If not, I'll do it at 9. If Sunday, I'll do it Monday at 9. So either way, this needs to be out before Friday because it's just not going to mix. It's just going to be stupid. I really feel like it'll just be stupid to wait till Friday to do this when we're going to have a... So I want to leave you with wondering what the frick's going to happen. So Sunday would be more ideal because Monday we're going in and, sometimes it don't take jury long to deliberate and come up with what they want to say. And so we don't want to risk it. So I would say Sunday would probably be cool if I can make it work out. So let's all just do that. Let's come back Sunday. Whether it be Jean's slot, I hate to take Jean's slot though, because that's Jean's slot. So, and that's goes Cats and Curses spot. But, so we'll come back Sunday and we'll do this part 2 because it's a lot to unpack, and we will just hammer down. Even if I start a little bit earlier, like 8 or something, we can get it done. Okay, because it's 11:22 now, going on midnight. So we'll come back. We'll do part 2, and you guys will not regret it because I'm telling you, I'll leave you hanging tonight. I'm gonna leave you on a cliffhanger so you can go do your research tonight for me and come back Sunday and you tell me all about it because I want to hear all about what you've researched and what you think and stuff like that instead of just taking my word for it. Whatever works. Okay, I understand Sam's pretty. I do. Do what you feel. Okay. This is your court dream. Thank you, Andrew. This is my court. We're dismissing. We're all adjourning. Yes, we're adjourning. We're going to take a recess until Sunday. So I feel like that judge, man. He makes everybody so mad because he recesses so much. But we're going to recess until Sunday. And you will see the post because I will make a post saying what time I'll be back, and Sunday at 8 would be awesome. Okay. All right. So you'll get a notification, you'll get a post, I will schedule it, and you will know, and we will get this out before Friday. So yay, you're going to see me again Sunday. So be glad for that. Yeah, so thank you all for being here. Thanks to my new followers, new subscribers. You guys rock. You're awesome. And for the people who stuck around and hung out with me and made it through all of that ranting and all of those videos, you're the bomb.com. I think my best friend passed out. That's fine. She's had a long week. On top of us stressing out about this case. So sleep well, bestie. yeah, so until next time, stay sweet, stay smart, and stay safe. And if you don't do anything else, I'm free till 60 morning. Break it up into a 2-hour segment. It's up to you. Okay, that's great. That's great. And if you don't do anything else, don't forget to sleep with your lights on. Okay? All right.